is my slam time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my slam time. Gonna mess up your whole mind. This is my slam time. Gonna bust up your behind. This is my slam time. Gonna mess up your whole mind.
Hello and welcome to another EWA Classic match. I'm joined as always by Mr. Taylor Osborne.
Yeah.
And today, as you can see in the top corner, we're covering AJ Reeves and Will Cruz. And this is the finals of a tournament for an ECW TV title. Yes, we've talked about how much we plagiarised from ECW for Extreme Cruiserweight Wrestling. They even had a TV title.
Can we say someone else instead of we in case someone sees it?
It's a royal we. Yeah. Well,
Yes.
we, the two on commentary right now, weren't really in charge of the creative of this show, especially in the very early days. So
we nodded and smiled and said, "Leave us alone. We've got a show to book," which was the main.
Yeah, which was the main roster one. So yeah, if Paul Heyman wants to reach out and sue, we will give you the details of the person to sue. But Paul.
Yes.
Paul, let's not forget how much music you were using without consent. Let's just call it quits, eh? So, on to this match. I think one thing that we did do that I liked about this, though, was the TV title. I think we literally had it on the line every week. I think it was legit, if there's TV, the title's on the line. So we're not going to be covering every defense of this belt. Like,
yeah, we've talked about it off the between recordings now. This title, won't get every defense, won't get every. Hopefully, we get whenever it changed hands.
Yes, I think we should aim for that.
Yeah. We're just going to pretty much have to just do what we can with whatever footage we can find as well. Like,
yeah, that's the thing is this is from 4 years ago. Like, some of the people have deactivated their Facebook accounts and we can't find their videos anymore. People have deleted videos from their YouTube channel if they uploaded it there. You know, people just this was the early days as well. People just didn't record and upload because we weren't as on top of it as we are now. You know, so like there's loads of reasons why we might have some missing footage, but so far, touch wood, I don't think we've missed anything major. We've been pretty lucky. We've had footage of everything we've wanted to cover. Like the next video, we thought we weren't going to find, and we ended up managing to dig it out. So far, like I say, 100% hit rate on what we've wanted to hit. Oh no, not the next video, sorry. One of the next videos in the next series of things we're going to record. It's not the next video. It's one later on. But yeah,
in the future.
Yeah, we've been planning out like what we want to cover, and there was one that we genuinely thought we didn't have a video of, but we managed to find it. So winner. Anyway, back to this one. So we've got this interesting looking variant of AJ Reeves.
Moving on.
Will Cruz. It's not really cosplay when it's just like actually just the character. And Will Cruz, who you may remember from such matches as the finals of the ECW title tournament and the same player that was in the finals of the EWA title tournament. I've always said he was our best player at the time. Here's more evidence. He's in every final of every tournament ever because he's just our best player, basically. So I actually don't remember the result of this, but my money's on him.
Honestly, I don't either, and I'm going to agree. Will Cruz seems like the likely choice.
The one thing I will say, though, I do remember reading when we were looking for matches that the person who controlled AJ has beaten the person who controlled Will on the main roster. I know that, so maybe we could see the other result, but my money's going on Will. Let's be honest. So ECW TV title. Oh, okay.
Was that lightning?
We've got lightning.
Close the roof. And paint a power bill.
Yeah. Put big light on.
This is one aspect I do not miss of the custom.
This is why they took him out. It's not why, but it's why I'm not that miffed that they took him out.
Yeah, like
because not everyone's great at creating them.
Lighting settings right, and
in the last video we watched one where it was done very well, and that's not just me kissing up to you. Jane's was done very well. This is one that maybe not so much. Oh, there we go. We get to see a person.
I've got no words. Spider-Man fan and everything, that is brilliant sort of cosplay. But outside that,
It's not a cosplay if you're just the person, though.
well, you know what I mean. Like, it's actually quite well done to being created in game
Yeah.
with the limitations that are there and that.
Yeah, it's well executed, but it's not necessary.
No, no, not at all.
Like, we've talked before about the difference between just outright plagiarizing a character from a franchise and, like, what I call the Rey Mysterio attire, where for big events he'd, like, wear an attire that is very clearly based on a certain character, like, usually a superhero, but not always. But it's still Rey Mysterio's attire at the end of the day. It's not been changed so far that he's unrecognizable. You know, he's not actually just coming out as Wolverine. He's coming out in a Rey Mysterio mask that's got the Wolverine eyes and is yellow and blue. You know, like, there's a big difference, you know.
I think the only two Rey costumes that you can say gone out of his usual would have been the one where he's the Phantom that he took on Eddie Guerrero in, that purple getup.
The one where it's all attached. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a full suit, which was unlike Rey. But back then,
it still had the side thing.
He did a lot.
It still had the side things, the custom thing on his mask, you know, around the mouth. It still was obviously a Rey Mysterio outfit. And I also like that because his mask was on the line, so I like the fact that he wore an outfit with his mask attached to it to make it harder to get his mask off. I was like, fair play. That's good thinking.
Well, it was against Eddie Guerrero, and as anyone who knows that match, he did go to just take it anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, this is mine, bitch. And the other one would probably be, that was, as I say, it's still Rey Mysterio, but probably the furthest from what we used to seeing him in, was that Joker attire that he wore, because it was still Rey Mysterio, still the same mask and everything, but like more different than usual.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean?
It was the furthest removed from a Rey Mysterio attire he's ever been. I would say.
Yeah. Outside that, it's still, you knew it was Rey, and the mask still had the bits and pieces that you used to seeing and all the rest of it.
Yeah, but that's probably like the best example of maybe being a bit over the line of where you want to be. Yeah, that Rey's ever done. Another one that's been quite good at the cosplay attires historically has been Seth Rollins has had one or two before the current gimmick, when he was just like the architect and, you know, in the authority. He'd have the occasional like different attire that was obviously a reference to something, but it was still a Seth Rollins attire at the end of the day. So
I'd have to say, more recently, Gargano has been my favourite.
Gargano's great at them, honestly. Yeah, good call. I hadn't thought of him, but he's great at them. Yeah, he manages to still make it his attire, but it's colour coordinated to be like someone he's referencing. Yeah.
The jacket will sort of suit, like when he had the Iron Man one or the Wolverine one, you could sort of tell it was really done well.
That was a fun little entrance, by the way, the little front flip off the top rope.
TJP.
Is that TJP's entrance?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't always get these references. I don't pay with my ADD being a thing, I don't pay loads of attention to like people's entrances, so unless it's like a mega star that you almost can't avoid. If it's someone that's just featured periodically, I probably don't really recognise them.
I'll be honest, if it wasn't for Best of the Super Juniors right now, I probably wouldn't have remembered.
I know TJP's been on that, but I have not watched his entrance.
he doesn't have the same entrance, it just sort of, just that whole sort of reminder,
Okay, so, first thing I noticed, AJ's a lot bigger than Will Cruz. Like, he's a big boy. He must have been at the top end of the weight limit on ECW. He's
AJ's a little bigger than I remember, full stop.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
We should have sort of picked up on this and had a bit of a unmasking afterwards. It's like, are you?
Yeah.
No.
Did you just send someone else? Is that why you went with this outfit?
My God, it's Roman Reigns.
Oh, bye, Felicia.
Whoa.
So, good time as any to remind people, ECW is based on ECW, the actual in real life wrestling promotion. So no disqualifications, no countouts. You might notice the referee not counting out. Weapons are fine here, but Reeves deciding not to follow Cruz out instead of letting him come back in. And it's not worked out for him. He's just been kicked in the head. Now, Will Cruz learning from AJ's mistakes and going out after him.
That's it. The thing with the two players too is I don't recall them really being ones to go after Weapons a hell of a lot anyway, because they both actually played into their characters a little bit. It's like particularly Will Cruz, is like, check him out. He sort of does come across a bit more of that wrestler
Yeah.
than
Yeah,
here's a chair, I'm going to put it around your head.
I can imagine his heel persona being, the I'm better than everyone here, I don't need weapons kind of thing. Like that sort of idea. Who was it who did that in ECW, in old school ECW, did the whole I'm not doing the extreme nonsense gimmick? Can't remember. Someone did that.
Oh, I know.
And that kind of gimmick would suit a Will Cruz because he looks like a wrestler. He is very good. So it would fit really well.
I keep wanting to say Steve Corino, but he was king of old school, but he used some weapons and bled
profusely. Made Ric Flair matches look tame on the blood.
Oh yeah, like I swear he had some blood bags sewn under his skin or something.
Swing and a miss. Oof.
And that
was a quick
that was
super
a heavy
kick.
hit.
Yeah, that was speedy super kick.
He's starting to pick up the pace, as sort of can notice here.
Yep. And regrets it.
He broke his cock teeth.
We're still allowing stomp baiting at this point. When do we get rid of that?
We've still got the commentary on at this point.
I know, it's wild, isn't it? It's still got commentary, it's still got stomp baiting. Maybe we changed. Did we only change that for 2K19? I wonder if all the 2K18 stuff's gonna have that.
I think we got more refined towards the end of it because I think at this point we're still trying to get our head around it and our feet under us properly. Like we're booking cards, we're getting promos done, but as we've seen with a lot of the matches, like you've said, it's the stomp baiting, and we've got the commentary there, and matches aren't uploaded 100% and all the rest. He didn't yell chicken ring.
That's why you hit it.
Oh, right.
Take notes, Taylor.
That's what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, so I think we were still just trying to get the finer aspects at this point done right as management. So if we start yelling at someone for stomp baiting, it's not, turn around, well, you do it too. It's like, no, shut up.
Couple of things to note there. I appreciated the suck it motion from this character. Like that, you were talking about in character work. That did not fit. Oh, well, he got him.
Well, there we go.
Well then.
Well, we're right.
Yep. I wasn't expecting that to be the finish though.
No. What was that, neck breaker?
There we go, that'll do. Yeah, a neck breaker. I'm not even sure that was his signature or finisher, it was just a neck breaker. But, well, there you go. First ever EWA champion, first ever ECW champion, first ever ECW TV champion. Like, oh boy.
I think he never had a tag partner.
I know, right. But, the other thing I was just going to comment on was how much I like the move, the Eat Defeat, or I think they call it Soul Food now, don't they? With Chucky T.
I think different people use it and call it all different things.
Yeah, I've always liked that move. Ever since I first saw it, I was like, okay, that's a cool move. Like, yeah, you've voluntarily taken a back bump, but I just like the idea of just sticking your foot in someone's jaw, then using gravity to hurt them with it. I just thought that was cool.
Yes, but when it's wrestling, if you start boiling down a lot of the moves, like you're taking a back bump just to kick someone in the head, it's like yeah, and the superplex, you're throwing someone off the top rope with yourself, and you're getting up first. So,
no, my favourite example is that a drop kick hurts, but only if you miss your opponent.
Yes.
No one ever hits a drop kick, then sells it, like sells the landing, like
That's it.
But when they miss a drop kick, it hurts like hell.
One of the other great examples I love is the figure four.
Yeah.
If you roll over and you invert the pressure, so to speak, suddenly the person who got locked into it is the person that could potentially get the submission victory. And I could sort of get and appreciate the logic behind it, but it's still hilarious when you actually sitting there, suspending disbelief. Like, yep.
Why would you
screaming in agony a second ago?
But not even that. It's just why would you use a move like routinely where all they have to do is roll onto their foot and now you're in a submission? That just seems like a bad move to use. But
But
anyway, congratulations, Will Cruz. We're back on track.
Bravo.
Not double champion though, because we've already witnessed him lose the ECW main title, which I do believe was before this chronologically. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I think so. I think the TV title started coming in after that.
But definitely the first person to hold 2 different titles in EWA by some distance at this point. So.
3.
Well, okay, Will Cruz has held 2. I mean, the
yeah.
character. But yeah, you're right. The
character,
player has held 3, which is just insane because we've only introduced 3 titles at this point.
I keep forgetting that we're actually using 2 different characters because we haven't done this.
We haven't done. Well, we talked in the last video about why we don't have a women's division, and because of that, and I think ECW was what taught us that lesson was people can't keep up with 2 matches a week, like
no.
So we were just constantly chasing matches from like, and the thing is as well, if you think about it, like if you've got a person, and let's just for argument's sake, let's try and pick a name that I don't think has been through EWA. We've got Harry the player who has 2 wrestlers, and Harry's rubbish at getting the match done. Well, we don't always book Harry against the same person on both shows, so they're holding up a match against you on one show and me on the other show. So they're holding up like 2 different people from getting their matches done by one person having 2 characters that they're not keeping up with. So that was like one of the big bugbears with it, was why we talked about in the last video why we didn't introduce like a full-time women's division, was the fact that people would be relying on people to get 2 matches done a week when some people barely even get 1 done a week. And that's like the knock-on effect, is you start affecting 2 people's regularity with getting their matches done because you're probably facing 2 different people each week. So, and
because as management we do like to give a bit of fairness in the sense that if we can recognise that yes, it is one person, like that person, one of the people in a match is actively trying to get the match done and it's the other person dragging the chain, and we don't try and punish the person who's been doing what they're meant to do. But it knocks back onto us because then we get sort of held back trying to get cards up because we've got to try and chase this stuff up.
And we have to cover matches.
If it's an important match, we sort of got to try and... It gets out of control very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. So just best to not put that sort of strain on until we get to the point where we've got like a core unit of players that haven't missed a match in like months. You know, like there's just no chance a match gets missed. There's just no way we're introducing a second character, male or female, at this. You know, like until we've got. And even then, like I say, we would be telling people who can and can't have a second character, because we won't be saying, hey, who wants one? Because if Tweedledum over there signs up with, you know, our hypothetical Harry, which was not intentional, by the way, calling him a name beginning with H to do that alliteration. But if hypothetical Harry shows up and says, I want a women's wrestler, it's like, we'd just be going, no, because you don't even do your male wrestler matches. What are you on about? You know, kind of thing.
And that's a fun thing we've learnt from back here. Here, during this time, we were just like, who wants another character? You do? Okay, here you go. Now
we'd be approaching people being like, hey, do you want another character? Because you can probably handle it, you know.
We're a little less afraid or hesitant, because afraid's not the right word, but we're a little less worried about sort of offending someone and having them upset and possibly leave the league and going, oh, look, well, maybe, we'll have to, you know, we don't want to upset you. Maybe we'll let you have another character. No, now we'll just probably swing around and go, you've missed the last 5 matches, you numbnuts. We're not giving you another character.
Yeah, I'm like... Yeah, and the other thing is, like, I think we're bigger now than we were back then, so we can be a little less worried about upsetting people, especially newer people, like you know, tried and tested, loyal people. You know, we do obviously try and keep happy, and we try and keep everyone happy, but at the end of the day, if someone new comes in, there's a strong chance we're not for them, and I'd rather find out early than when they're established and holding one of our titles. You know, so, like, we don't really filter it the same as we used to, because back then we probably did have about 8 players total, whereas now, when I did the 2K22 sign-up sheet on the Facebook group, I think it was 25 people we got in the week that we gave, or whatever it was. It was ridiculous. So
fluctuated.
Yeah, so like, it's one of those where we can afford to lose 1 or 2 now. When we had 8 people, we couldn't afford to lose 1 or 2. That was a quarter of our roster. You know? So it's a lot more relaxed now, in the sense that we're more relaxed about whether we suit people or not. It's just like, well, we do what we do, and if that doesn't suit you, then okay, bye. No hard feelings.
Yeah.
See ya. Yeah, it's just not worth the drama, is it? Not worth the arguments. So, but anyway,
We've learned from that.
yes, we have learned much from ECW. Most of it being do not put on a second show with the same wrestler, the same players. Under any circumstances. But yeah, ECW TV champion, as we said at the start of the video, we're probably not going to feature every defense because as much as title defenses are important in telling the story of the prestige of a title and the person holding it, I don't want to be doing like every single week of ECW. But if the title changes hands, we'll definitely try and get that on. And if there's a title match, maybe on a pay-per-view, like a bigger event, we might just include that because it's a slightly bigger match, I guess. I don't know. We'll just play it by ear, but if the title changes hands, you'll know about it, assuming footage exists.
Yeah, that's the big problem in footage because we've just hit the problem just before looking through things. So like, there seems to be like this almost vacuum where we can't even find where the matches should be. So it's just the way it is.
The good news with this player that is controlling World Cruise and Tommy Gunn dominating the title scenes is he was also very good at getting his matches recorded and uploaded. So we've got a lot of the title matches on lock at the moment because like we know he was pretty good at it. He wasn't infallible. He hasn't it's not that he's not ever missed one, but he's still got a lot on his YouTube channel, which is super useful. So thank you for that. If you're ever watching this, thank you for being competent at what we ask for. That's appreciated. But
You were our early benchmark.
yeah, basically, both in ring and in terms of following the requests, the rules, the requirements, I guess. But yeah, unless you've got anything else to add about this match or the process, I think we're good here, aren't we?
We're good.
We're good. So yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment. The usual thing, and we'll see you for the next one.
Bye.
Did you wave?
Yes.